All right, stats 8.5, testing a claim about a mean. This ties into section 8.3, where we did some testing on claims, but that was for a proportion. And it definitely ties in 8.6, the next section, where you have to use the 4-step process to complete a significance test for a mean. All right. So whenever we do these tests, we need to perform condition or check conditions. So this is checking conditions for a significance test about mu. So the first one is the random condition. Of course, does our data come from a random sample from the population? And then number 2, the normal large sample condition. Remember, only one of these must be true. First, does the data come from a normally distributed population? Does it say normal? Usually not. Number 2, is the sample size large? Is it at least 30? So that by the central limit theorem, we can say that the sampling distribution will be approximately normal. That sometimes happens. And last but not least, if it includes a graph of the sample data, does that graph show no strong skewness or outliers? Okay, so again, has to be very strong in order to not be good enough. All right, so example 1, does this radio station play enough music? A classic rock radio station claims to play an average of 50 minutes of music every hour. However, it seems that every time you tune into the station, a commercial is playing. Oh man. To investigate the station's claim, you randomly select 12 different hours during the next week and record how many minutes of music the station plays in each of those hours. Here are the data along with the dot plot. All right, so there's our data, there's our dot plot. You would like to perform a test of null hypothesis mu equals 50 versus the alternative hypothesis mu is less than 50, where mu is the true mean amount of music played in minutes during each hour by the station. Check that the conditions for performing the test are met. All right, so the first condition is the random condition. And it says you randomly select 12 different hours during the next week. There you go. So there is your random condition being met. Next is the normal large sample. Okay, so does it say normal? No. Sample size is 12, not at least 30. So now we have to look at the dot plot. Here's the dot plot. Now, it's pretty uniform, so there's no skewness, right? And again, this is not an outlier. This is just one away. So this dot plot of the sample data shows no strong skewness or outliers. And we're good to go. Okay, cool. All right, so these conditions will be met, and you could go ahead and perform this test. All right, so that's our first video on checking conditions. The next video is going to talk about how to find the standardized test statistic and the p-value.